is 9:03. This is WKKW Studios. Up next, Love Pandemic. Welcome your host, Liam Von Friedman.
That's right. All you shooters out there. All you cappers. All you folks. All you beauties. We're gonna be getting started. We are live.
Love Pandemic. We're gonna talk love.
We're gonna uncover
Romance.
mysteries.
Remember, you'll be able to call in, ask us any questions. Totally confidential. Tonight on Love Pandemic.
This is your night to find what you're looking for. We just want you to be pleased. To please. Please. You little animal. You're so bad. You're so naughty. It's okay. You gotta embrace your wild side. We're gonna teach you how on Love Pandemic. We are live.
We're gonna cut through all that bullshit and the noise. We're gonna get the straight facts from the experts. I mean, the sexperts. Here on Love Pandemic.
We're gonna get this party started real soon. Not just yet, but real soon. It's Love Pandemic. And it's an outbreak every Monday.
Welcome, your host, Liam Von Friedman, to Love Pandemic.
Thank you very much, Karl. Everybody, Karl, the best producer in the biz. He's been with me for years and years. We've got a great show for you all tonight. We are live. We will be taking your calls a little bit later. Our phone number is 575-322-8733. We have some fantastic surprises in store for you all tonight, and I'm very happy to introduce our first guest, who's a longtime friend. She's a very talented film star. She's been, quote unquote, around the block, around the block 2, around the block 3, around the block 4, rock around the block. She's done so many films. It's amazing. And she's finally found her soulmate and settled down. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so happy to have Tiffany Ruby calling in. You all know her. Hi, Tiffany. How are you?
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
You do sound very, very happy to be here, Tiffany. It's wonderful to hear your voice.
Oh my God, it's so good to hear your voice. It's been so long.
It really has been a long time, and I really have thought a lot about you. I was happy to hear that you were available tonight, that you were open to do the show.
Oh my God, you know I'm always open for anything.
Well, I know that your lifestyle has changed somewhat, but we're happy to talk a little bit more about that. We're really excited to have you on the show. Thank you so much, Tiffany, for stopping by and slipping on through.
You know it's what I'm good at, honey.
You sure are. Well, first we want to start off with some questions Karl's got from some of our listeners. We want to go ahead and address these questions before we take any calls.
Yeah, Tiffany, I just wanted to say hello. It's been a while since I've seen you.
Oh, Karl, how are you? Oh my God, so good to hear your voice too.
I'm good. How is your stomach feeling? The last time I saw you, you had kind of an upset stomach, and I had a couple of Tums, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember you fed me those Tums. Not with your hands, but
No,
yeah,
you wouldn't let me. Okay, but it's good to talk to you again.
Wow,
you
I like
too.
that.
You too.
So we've got a couple questions from our callers. So first question is how do I chat someone up who's in self-isolation during this pandemic? Any advice for this this listener?
Yeah. So how to chat someone up? It's, I'm very much a visual person, but I also, there's the fundamentals of a sexual experience is how you communicate. And, with the technology we have, it's so easy to use TikTok or just snap some pics or even like just talk and get really sexy with it, and just allow someone to feel you with your voice, if that makes sense.
That's beautiful. I'll give the listeners an example of something that I've personally begun to implement. Today, I hit up my crush this morning with a lovely text message saying, "You are like the one curly fry that was in my regular fries, but I didn't know that the restaurant had curly fries, and now I know that curly fries, like you, are undefeated." Winky face emoji, kissy face emoji, and of course, she responded back, "New phone, who dis?"
Every time.
That little minx.
Every time.
She's so playful.
Damn.
Well, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Well, that's good advice, Tiffany. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
So we've got another question from a listener. They ask, what kind of additional prophylactic measures would you recommend during this health crisis?
Well, something I recommend is, first of all, you can meet up somewhere and 6 feet apart. You can certainly play. Even though you're not touching, there's definitely things you can do. And then one of my favorite things to use, I don't know if, I'm sure you guys know about it, but if our listeners haven't heard, boner pants is a very safe way to interact and put that layer of silk or organic cotton between you and the other person.
Well, Tiffany, I don't want to disagree with you, but I think our expert last week, Tanya, had said that it wasn't actually sex to have sex with on the boner pants. Then that's not what you're recommending, is it?
They said it's not safe to have sex with
That's
boner
what they
pants?
said. I don't want WKKW to have any additional children on our hands.
Oh, well, no, don't actually, penetrate with the boner pants. That wouldn't be fun, but I'm just saying to just have a little fun on the outside of the boner pants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, that sounds right. Well, Tiffany, you are the queen of dry hump. So that's excellent advice. And I just want to weigh in here as well and just say that, 6 feet apart is more than enough to trigger a very powerful female orgasm with some of the techniques that I've learned and that I can teach in my course. I can teach you how to make a woman orgasm from 60 feet away. It's all about body movement. I don't know if you guys have seen that show where they dance into another dimension, but it's very similar. There are several different moves, the jack or jellyfish, as well as the Jackson 7, that you can use and employ and really choreograph a mating dance to your loved one that can absolutely stimulate clitoral arousal. Isn't that true?
Oh, yeah. And I know it to be true that you're really good at that, too.
Well, I didn't bring that up to talk about me, but I just want our listeners out there to have the most satisfying sex lives that they possibly can.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely one way to do it. There's so many options, and now's the time to explore those options as we are limited and physical, actual contact, there's so much more we can play with at this time.
Yes, it's an emotional dance. Do we have any other questions from the audience, Karl? And you folks out there who are listening to the show on the live stream, be sure to ask your question. You can ask your question in the question box on the live stream, and we'll see it here in the studio at WKKW Studios.
Yeah, so there is a follow-up question about this distant orgasm exercise or practice, the discipline. It sounds like magically, and for the listeners, I want to clarify that it is like magic. I've seen it with my own eyes. We were on the bus, and Liam looked over at this old lady in the corner, and he said, "I'm gonna make her come like the wind." And then the next thing you know, this lady was writhing in pleasure.
It was like riding a horse down a sunset on a windmill. It was incredible watching her spin around in angst, and she started just taking her arm and her hands and just putting it over her neck and just loving every minute of it, just trying to keep herself quiet and silent while she was enjoying the stimulation, the pleasure, if you will.
Yeah, it did end up killing her. She stroked, but this is beside the question that the listener has is, would it work 60 miles away? Like if they have a distant lover, who's maybe the next state over, the next county, or maybe they've got another lover who's in the other county.
Well, I can tell you this. Our bodies are absolutely electric. And with the right metals in your bodies, if you take the right supplements, you can charge and send informational messages through the stratosphere. So yes, absolutely anything is possible. And you can absolutely satisfy your mate from 60, even 600 miles away, or 500 miles, which is funny that they said 500 miles, because wouldn't it in England be 500 kilometers? But anyway, that's a side note.
Yeah, I've heard that in China, they have satellites now that can pleasure men and women from space. It's miraculous. They've been using it as a weapon against dissidents in their country. And it's worked wonders, honestly.
A weapon of mass ejaculation, yes. It's made harvesting organs so much easier. China, wow, so progressive. A lot to learn there.
Yeah. So we have another question from a caller who had called in earlier. They said, "I'm really depressed, and I drink every night in isolation. Am I an alcoholic?" What do you think, Tiffany, with your experience?
How'd that question get in there? That seems a little off topic.
It does, but
Well, I will say that as it seems like a good idea to have a drink before, or just drinking in general, it can sort of destroy all that electricity that Liam was talking about. And I really don't think that you should just, take away that. So I've been sober for many years now, and I'm really against that because I don't want anything to dull my electricity. And so I want to say, give it a chance. Try, instead of when you have the urge to drink, try just touching yourself, or engaging in some sexual electric conversations with someone that really gets you started. You know what I mean?
Well, I just want to say that when you're in there exploring and touching yourself, there's just no wrong way. Do whatever feels the most primal. Just get right in there. It's totally fine. Listen to your heart, the heart of your bottom, as well as the bottom of your heart.
Yeah. My father always told me, go with the grain of the hair.
That's very good advice. Wow.
So we have one more question from one of our listeners who had written in to us. They said, "My lover is in a nursing home. How do I break in there and get me some?"
Karl, that's your question, isn't it?
No.
What?
No.
You don't, Tiffany, you don't have to answer that. That's a very personal question.
You could answer it if you want, though, for anybody who might apply for it.
But don't, you're not obligated.
But it might help.
But you don't have to.
Yeah, I sort of, I just, I don't want to get in trouble for talking about breaking in anywhere, especially to put our elderly people at risk. But I'm just almost fascinated by maybe other ways you could pleasure that elderly loved one from a distance. Maybe we should explore that idea a little bit.
Oh, that's a wonderful mental image. I think we should explore that. I just want to, before we go into this, which we may go into for, I don't know, probably several minutes because we want as much detail as possible
I
here.
always go in for several minutes.
Absolutely. I just want to remind the listeners that we are going to be taking calls. We are taking calls here very, very soon. Go ahead and get ready to call in 575-322-8733. We're gonna uncover this topic until we hear from a caller. Which, if we don't, then that's fine. We can talk about this for days. Oh, we have a caller. No. Okay. Well, Karl, he's always messing with me.
Sometimes I like to get his hopes up just so I can dash him. There's nothing that I like more than getting somebody off than getting them down. You know what I mean?
Wow. Such a jokester, such a prankster. That's what happens when you've known somebody for, 15 years?
Yeah. The fire just kind of turns into an ember.
It does. It gets very hot and consistent. Wow, look at that. We have a caller.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. This is Love Pandemic. Whom are we speaking to?
Hey, I think I'd rather remain anonymous.
Oh, that's completely fine, Mr. X.
Actually, I was just calling. Did I win the tickets to REO Speedwagon? Or is...
No, sorry, caller. We discontinued that last week. It was a very brief thing that we had with Shag and Wagon 3's new release, and we had like 2 tickets. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, caller. We also have our lines crossed up a little bit with the river, so a lot of people call for REO Speedwagon tickets, Leonard Skinner, etc. Is there something else we could do for you? We are not exactly professionals, but we're sort of dating advice professionals.
I have a wife.
Yeah. Like I had a question about. So, a lot of people probably don't know this about me, but I am quite the fanny magnet, and I've been talking to this girl. Huh?
The fanny magnet, you said?
Yeah, a fanny magnet.
Very nice.
It comes to me.
I can tell. I get that.
I met this girl, or I've been talking to this girl on a Christian mingle, and she's down with the sickness, I guess you could say. She's got the
she has COVID? AIDS.
No, she has corona.
Corona, yeah.
Big thing. She's got that. Anyway, she wants me to come over, and she's like really thick. Like, that booty is out of this world. So I guess my question is, should I risk it?
How thick? How many bowls of grits are we talking here?
Oh, so many bowls.
Many
At least
bowls.
3.5. Like, it's intense.
3.5 bowls of grits. That's hard to pass up, my friend. And she has the Rona, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. Are you sick? Do you show any symptoms of being sick?
No, I'm completely healthy besides, the rash, but,
Well, tell us about the rash. Is it an itchy rash? Does it hurt? Does it smell a little bit?
A little
sticky?
It
Does it
wavers,
taste like beef?
One day it's red, one day it's burning. It's every day is a new adventure with it. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I can't quite go to the doctor because everyone's going because of, the pandemic or whatever they call it. But
the viral outbreak of love.
Caller, is there some sort of like a bull or like a snoring animal in your vicinity?
oh, there's a cat here, but it's not near the phone. Can you hear my cat?
Your cat might have the heart of a bull. Sometimes I just pick up on these signals.
That's crazy.
And they do have a deep snore to them.
If she's awake.
Well, someone, it sounds like it's growling.
I can...
Tiffany, are you still with us?
Oh yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, she's always here.
Tiffany, is there a big handsome bull in the room with you right now?
No. Why, do you hear something?
We do, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was. Knowing you, Tiffany, you devilish fiend.
So caller, let's talk a little bit more about this lady who is as thick as 3.5 bowls of grits, as you so cleverly put it.
Yes.
How often do you, quote unquote, get down, my friend?
With her or by myself or?
Ideally with a partner.
Oh, with a partner. Let's see. That would be, maybe like twice a year.
Okay. And how did you two meet?
Oh, Christian mingle.
Oh, of course. You did mention that. I apologize, caller.
But you've only mingled like twice?
Well, we haven't mingled in real life yet.
Oh.
Like, we haven't met, but like we connected.
Have you sexted? Or like sent any nude pictures?
Well, she sent me a picture of that booty. That's how I know that is quite sick.
That's good. That's good. What do you think about that, Tiffany?
Oh, that gets me excited. Oh my god, I am all about sending the booty pic. Like, free the booty, like send it away. Just make sure that it's all moisturized before you send it. Like, don't send anybody a dry booty, you know what I mean?
Of course not. That would be childish and ridiculous. Now, Tiffany, what advice do you have for our caller who chooses to remain anonymous as far as, like attracting this young lady? What should his next step be?
Well, it sounds to me like she's into it, honey. She is so into it, and she wants it so bad. But you have to decide. I mean, if you guys are fine just making sweet, sick, dirty Corona love, then I don't think you should feel judged for that. And I think you should just do it. I want you to just take charge. I know that it's Christian mingle, and I mean, maybe there's a loophole you guys can go through where you wouldn't be, sinning in the Lord's eyes or anything. But like, I think you should definitely act on this. She wants it, and she wants you to take charge.
I agree with Tiffany, caller, and I will say that there is a loophole when it comes to Christianity. I used to be a member of the church, and I'll also say that there are certain, orifices, I'm not really sure what the plural is there, that are not nearly as contagious. Now, I don't mean to telegraph anything here, but I'm telling you to put it in the butt.
Yeah, that's, you just straight up.
Yeah.
So it's...
You're acting like I wasn't going to do that. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Well, great. I'm glad we cleared that up. You already knew what you needed to do, and we appreciate it. We're here to confirm, and that's what we're here for, to just resonate and reflect your beliefs, ideas, and opinions about your love life. And that's really what it's all about, is self-knowledge. Thank you, caller.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Keep an eye out for me in the statistics, just in case.
Yeah, we'll pray for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Bye.
Thank you. Folks, we are live. Love pandemic. It is a viral outbreak. 575-322-8733. And Tiffany, we do really appreciate you being on the show tonight. Thank you so much, Tiffany.
Oh my God, thank you. Call me sometime.
I will definitely be sending you a message. Something maybe about a curly fry. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I come up with.
Okay.
Tiffany, we'll talk soon. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Karl, she's just a gem. What a sweetie pie. I really appreciate her being on the show, being such a sweetie. Gosh, we used to have some amazing days together. She and I. You remember those days?
I do. I was always, 10 feet behind you.
Yeah, you were right there holding the boom or putting the light up or doing whatever, because independent film is how we get the message out to the people.
It's God's work. It is the unmediated path from, vagina, where we all came from.
That's right.
Back to vagina.
We call it uncharted waters, but it's where we all start and it's where we all end up.
It's where we came from. It's where we're coming.
We're going through the curtain. Here we are. It's a veil lifted.
Yeah.
Well, oh my goodness.
Yeah. So Wade had popped his head in. I told him that you should just come on. You should just come on in. He's
Wade.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
Wade, welcome.
Unbelievable 2
Thank
weeks
you
in
for
a row.
having me.
Welcome, Wade. Thank you so much for coming
Greetings.
into the studio. What brings you here today?
We are in Studio B. We're doing some mixing for one of the short films we just got done filming.
Wow. What can you tell us about the short film?
The short films, we are in the progressive film industry, if you're familiar with that, boys.
The progressive film industry.
Yes, adult films.
Oh, okay.
Adult films.
Okay, hang on. We're getting a caller here. Sorry, Wade. Hang on.
Well, this is where Wade really shines.
Caller, you're on Love Pandemic. And now you're not.
Well, that wasn't very nice. I was just talking about what a great FAQer you are.
Well, thank you, Liam. Thank you so much.
Well, it's true. We've, our circles have crossed a time or two in the business.
In the biz, yes.
Yeah, doing the business, getting the business.
Tag teaming.
Doing the business, yeah. We've seen Tiffany with 2 F's, haven't we?
Yeah, on some occasions 3.
Yes, that's right.
That tends to be the magic number.
What a sport. Yeah, and we've had some escapades, me and you, buddy.
Oh, the rides we have ridden.
It's a good time. I'm really awesome. It's really so cool that you were able to stop by again.
Thanks for having me again. I could have not been able to come by. The door could have been locked for.
Well, we always leave the back door open here.
We're getting another caller.
Oh, thanks, Karl.
Caller, you're on Love Pandemic.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Hi, who are we talking to tonight?
My name's Jake.
Hi, Jake. Welcome to Love Pandemic. Do you have a question for our gracious host, Liam Von Friedman, or Wade Wexler, who happened to just pop into the studio?
Yeah, I actually do have a question. What is the sexiest fruit?
Well, that is a matter of opinion. Not to turn it back on you, caller, but what is your idea of the sexiest fruit?
I'd have to say like a kiwi.
Ooh.
A kiwi.
That's hairy. That's what I like about him.
Yeah, it's like a fuzzy fruit, which is like the opposite of like a grape.
Yeah, grapes are probably the hairlessnessiest, the one with the least amount of hair of any fruit.
Yeah, it just depends on what you like to gobble down. If you like a little texture, if you like, something a little bit more earthy,
Okay, So you're saying like a pineapple is probably at the number one spot.
Well, it depends. Again, it's really hard to say. I do like a kiwi. It's sensual. It's from down under. It is very juicy. But I had a pear today that was incredibly soft, and it just sort of evaporated into my mouth. And I've still got a lot of stickiness in my beard from it, but it was absolutely delightful. I'll just say that.
Okay. Now, what about vegetables?
I don't think any of vegetables are sexy. What about you, Wade?
Not even like a rude carrot.
What about like a cauliflower? Kind of looks like a brain.
Well, I mean, you would be chasing those minds around, Carl. Such a silly boy.
I was gonna say, maybe a cucumber, perhaps. Maybe a cucumber, but is that technically a fruit?
Depends on
I
how
think
you
that's
eat
a
it.
fruit.
Technically, yeah, okay. Maybe Brussels sprouts.
I don't. We have a person in the chat saying, Jacqueline, that mangoes are the sexiest fruit caller. And, well, she says it with such convincing confidence that it's very hard to...
There's a period at the end of that statement.
There is, and that usually means angry.
That's a whole sentence right there.
That is a determinate statement. Or maybe eggplants could be...
Eggplants.
And goodness gracious, if that eggplant comment didn't just pop up in the live chat. Unbelievable. Now, caller, let me ask you a question. Is an eggplant emoji accurate for you?
Yeah, I'd say it's about, because how big is that? Like, maybe like a quarter of an inch max?
I'm not...
Which way?
Like when it's on your screen? Like if you just send one emoji?
Yeah, that's...
How many eggplants are you, big boy?
I guess just the one, right? It'd just be one?
Just the one.
Just one.
Are you one of my fans?
I don't know. I don't think we've ever met or spoken before. I'm not really familiar with your credentials. Where did you study?
Well, you might be a little bit, but I don't like to talk about it.
Yeah, where do you study the art of lovemaking in bed?
Yeah,
That's
I mean, you just asked me though about the eggplant.
Well,
so
yeah, I think it's an interesting question. I think we should all be a little bit more honest with ourselves.
Yeah, Jake, I was thinking the same thing.
okay, but like, do you want to tell me where you studied?
Well, I studied what the baby boomers might call the school of hard knocks.
What about you, caller? Where'd you study?
The Sorbonne.
What is that? Like
The
ice cream factory?
it's a very famous college in Paris, the Sorbonne.
Well, I have never heard of it.
Did you say Serbo? Did you say Serbo?
Did you say
No,
so?
I don't even know what that is. What is that? Like a vacuum cleaner?
No. You said you studied lovemaking in France. Is that correct?
No, I didn't study that. I studied economics.
Economics.
Yeah,
Well,
macro.
Macro.
Mostly macro.
He is a big man.
Very nice caller. Well, I just have one tip for you, and we're gonna let you go with your one eggplant emoji sized eggplant emoji.
Well, now I feel self-conscious about that.
Listen,
I don't know.
I'm about to put you at
in
ease.
confidence, but
I'm
now
about to-
I don't know.
I'm about to put you at ease, caller. It's not how big your pencil is. It's how you sign your name.
Oh, I do everything through email though, so I haven't.
Caller, thank you so much for calling in a Love Pandemic. We're so happy that we were
Okay.
successfully able to answer your call. Thank you so much. Wow. Another success story.
Indeed.
Incredible. Our record is pretty much undefeated, especially with Wade here.
Thank you, Liam.
At this rate, the world will repopulate itself.
See, that's the funny thing about this COVID crisis. Think about all the babies being made because of this show. We're here repopulating the Earth. If the globalists are trying to depopulate it, then we're repopulating it single-handedly. It's all blowing up. It's all blowing up in your face, globalists, right?
It's just a big, giant, what's that? Stay Puft Marshmallow Man explosion.
It's everywhere. It's all over. It's all encompassing. We're gonna circle the world with love, with freedom, with excretions. It's what me and Wade were meant to do.
He's right. Liam is absolutely right about that.
That's exactly right. We are live callers. Go ahead and call into the show with your questions. We have a professional in the studio, and there we have a caller. Wow, thank you. That was...
Caller, you're on the air. This is Love Pandemic.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, there's three of us.
How many?
Three.
Hang on, where are you?
There's 3 of you. We like that.
What's your address?
That's
You mean like, where are we? Like our address?
Did I stutter this time?
We're in LA.
Oh. Well, okay, so sorry. I get...
Carl's he's a little bit excited. His wife's out of town.
Jeez.
He's just a little jumpy.
We've been
You'll have to forgive him.
isolating for a couple days now. Who are we talking to right now?
I'm Nikki. Sarah.
Nikki, Sarah.
Ala.
Oh, wow.
Nikki, Sarah, and Isla, welcome to the show.
Hi. Thanks.
What's your question? How can we help you out in this love pandemic?
We're together, all
Oh.
3 of us, but we're also open.
Oh, gosh.
But we can't find any more lovers.
So listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
Oh, wow.
Southwest has an incredible deal on tickets from LA. It's like $20. I'll pay $60.
Well, that was a lot easier of a solution. I don't think we're supposed to fly.
You know
Yeah.
what? Sometimes there's an emergency, and you have to tend to it.
think
Ladies-
we're supposed to have any like contact.
Well, ladies, let me just ask you a question. Are you under the age of 75 years old?
One of us is.
Well, you sound very young. Maybe a little too young to be calling into this podcast, if I'm being honest. But my
I'm
friend Carl...
35.
Oh,
Listen, there's no age limit
25.
for talking,
25.
Liam.
love is not a number. Numbers are numbers, and letters are something else altogether
And
entirely.
love is it's just two nasty animals just working out their different parts.
Hey boys, we're not looking for something physical. We're looking for some real emotional connection.
Sorry,
Oh.
what was your question? You're looking for lovers, okay? And
get people to join us?
What was that?
You're asking how to get people to join you
during these hard times.
in these
Oh.
hard times.
Alice
first
is
of
the
all-
older one.
Alice
the
is
way.
she's
Hi.
the older one. Alice.
She's the older one. She's the one that's
Alice.
older than 75.
Alice is older than 75, you say?
Yeah, so she might have trouble with the phone.
Ah. She's more on the rotary kind of girl.
Yes, yes.
Does she know how to turn a device on and off?
advice?
so my
We want
advice.
boyfriends and girlfriends to join our situation. We want real connection. We want love.
All right,
Everything
listen.
that we're getting is just superficial. It's a lot of
Okay.
outside stuff.
We understand this. We're going to have to limit you all to 10 or less, however, just so you know before we continue.
Now, are we looking for like a fun ha-ha time? Or are we looking for like 2 swans on a lake sort of time?
Ooh. What do you think, Nikki?
The swans?
I'll take the swans too.
Swans.
Yeah,
Yeah, swans.
that's what I thought Alice would take the swans.
Very elegant.
Now here's what, I, Carl, would recommend. So, you're going to log on to southwest.com. you're gonna put in 3 in the passengers out here.
What are we gonna put in?
Provo,
3?
Utah, and I'm gonna pay for it. Okay? You send me your Venmo after we hang up, and I'm not joking. It's like $20. It's crazy.
Okay. I mean, this is sounding better and better.
Honestly, ladies, in this day and age, you could take a flight for a booty call, and there's no shame. It is what it is. It's really, everybody, lots of people are doing this. The lines for security at the airport are actually quite short and less invasive than usual. However, they will give you a proper pat and get you a little bit in the mood for Karl. So why don't you girls go on over to southwest.com and get away, which is to get over here with Karl, and we'll kind of see how things play out.
Thanks, that was great. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, they just sound lovely.
I can't wait.
That was fun. I had a lot of fun with that.
Wait, if you're gonna be around in a couple days,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you still got that equipment, we'll talk later.
We'll talk about that a little bit later.
I do think we actually do need to mention our sponsor, Karl. We are very blessed to have a sponsor, and without our sponsorship money, boys and girls, this is not a show. We have to have that sponsorship money coming in, and it's absolutely essential. So, Karl, do you mind telling our listeners a little bit about our sponsor?
Yeah. Love Pandemic is brought to you by Boner Pants. Boner Pants keep your junk out and erect even when they don't want to be. Boner Pants comes in cotton, nylon, synthetic, polyester, polytheistic, monotheistic, and silk for that extra special touch. You could check out your local broker at flying.squidcomedy.com/bonerpants.
Yes, every time I travel, when I take Southwest, I like the comfort, the support of a boner pant.
It's all about they emphasize the erection, but for me, it's all about the support.
We all need support, and that's why you should go to www.flyingsquidcomedy.com/boner and check out our beautiful line, their beautiful line of boner pants. I mean, every print you can imagine, so many materials. There's a lot of different ways to fit. We've got the hipster one. We've got the one that's a little bit, the high waters. There's a lot of different boner pants, folks. The boner pants are made for every style and every type of person. Let me ask you a question, Wade.
Go ahead.
Underneath your pants,
Yeah.
what are you wearing tonight?
I have some silk boxers on.
Silk boxers, are they boner pants?
They are boner pants.
Very nice.
They are. I ordered a couple pairs offline.
When did you switch over to boner pants? Because this used to be a hotly debated issue. Remember, the men with the tighty whities versus
Right.
the men with the boxers versus the free ballers.
Right.
They're it's kind of like the 2-party system. There's only so many choices, or the 3-party system, right? Or the 4-party. Now we have boner pants. When did you switch over? What caused you to switch over? And how much better is your life now?
First off, I would like to say that my life is 110% better than it was about 2 months ago. It's been about the time I switched over.
Wow.
One of the biggest reasons I decided to switch over was because I'm part of the Big Johnson Committee.
Oh yes, I remember that committee.
That's right.
Yes. You have the hallway across from the Itty Bitty Titty Committee. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh
you.
no, it's
Just want to make sure I know where you guys are meeting.
I'll have to give you a couple notes.
It's important.
Yeah, I just I'm part of the Big Johnson Committee. It's something I think on the last film that we were working on, BBC Protocol.
Yes, and tell us all what BBC stands for again.
Big Black Cock.
Oh, Yes.
Yeah.
Most people use white caulk when they repair their windowsills and when they prepare for a paint job. But I have to say, the black caulk works very, very well in filling in holes, and it's also quite easy to identify when you're painting over your
That's
already
right.
existed painting surfaces.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, yeah, you've done so many great movies, you know. Work It Right, where you take that stove and then you rebuilt it, and
That's
then you put
right.
it back in that old grandma's house. That was a brilliant short film. I've seen a lot of your work.
That's right. We had Evelyn Winter on that one. She's well known around the UK, the Croydon area. She's known for her artwork, but also her love making skills. She's very great.
It's very cool how you've crossed over between construction and lovemaking.
Mm-hmm.
And those are some of the sexiest videos. And they're really, down to earth, approachable,
Right.
and realistic. A lot of the short films out there are just unbelievably unbelievable,
Right.
They are just wild and outrageous. But the way you do it, you really bring it home. It seems like very sincere,
Right.
loving, kind of like, some of the old projects that I used to do
Right.
many years ago.
Right. Yeah. I think one of the tricks about it is always filming guerrilla style. Like one of the things that we were doing in Croydon was we were trying to get a couple of shots of people really just expressing themselves just in the streets. We were looking for a lot of graffiti artwork, and we wanted to do a couple of scenes right there, and then it just I don't know, it's all in real time. It's just one of those things.
That's amazing. It's just unreal what you've done, and your history and everything, with you and Russell Brand being such intimate partners, in a very hetero way.
Right.
But then you both went your separate ways, and you both have your own different audiences. And can you just talk a little bit about the split and what made you go your own way? It was very courageous of you.
Did you say about Russell?
Yeah, with Russell.
Well, one thing about Russell is I think he's gone through a lot growing up. His mother died when he was very young, and me and him met when we were in school, when we were preparatory school, and we just developed a very good friendship there. And we were just inseparable for so long, for about 20 years, and then he just got addicted to the scene. He was just doing a lot of cocaine and
The scene, yeah.
a lot of heroin, and I just you get to a point in your life and you just can't keep going down that route. Especially if you want to be on set, and if we're shooting a gangbang scene of some sort, you gotta be present in the moment, especially since we're doing everything guerrilla style.
Gangbang, of course, meaning that's several people hammering in a nail.
That's right.
Yes, that's it's some of your finest work. I was really impressed with all the gangbang videos that you did, and
Thank you.
the circle jerks where you each took drills and took all the screws out of a deck and took it apart. That was also quite brilliant, as well as the jelly jar.
Yeah, I loved Four Men on a Roof. It was probably the smash hit of the summer for me and Sheila. I'm totally hetero, but something about watching a number of men try to nail each other down, not metaphorically,
Right.
is really gets both me and my wife on top of the roof, and we just
Right.
great traction
Right.
up there. It gets a little bit rough though. Hang on, sorry.
Oh,
I
okay.
think we have a caller
Okay.
calling in.
Fantastic.
Caller, you're on Love Pandemic.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. Who are we speaking to?
This is Dave.
Dave?
Dave.
Dave. Yes,
Hi,
sir.
hi, Dave. What? Why are you calling in? What's your question for us?
Well, I'm with this quarantine thing going on. I've been spending a lot of time at home, and I spend a lot of time by myself normally. But I've noticed that I've been masturbating
Furiously?
at a much higher frequency than usual, and I'm starting to get a little raw downstairs, if you know what I'm saying, fellas.
Oh, right. Now, I think it
And
gets.
I was just wondering, if you had any tips for how to combat that.
Yeah. If one of the things in the industry that we always try to remember is to always exfoliate when you get down there. If you have any household cleaning items, you might want to add a couple of oils, some sensual oils, and just make sure to exfoliate down there so you don't have any rashes that come up.
I had met a Buddhist monk who would put his cock on a plank, a wooden plank, and then he would drop another wooden plank on top of it over and over again until his dick didn't give a fuck.
It looked like a flattened pancake.
But it was strong as a screwdriver.
Caller, do
So
you
what
have
you're saying is I need to just sort of beat through the pain. And then I'll come out on the other side of
that
this
is a very
than ever before.
Yeah, that's a very zen solution to this problem, caller. Though, before you hang up, do you have any allergies?
No, not that I know of.
Well, I definitely recommend the 2x4 treatment then.
Yeah, and you know what? You can get, for a limited time only, some Kevlar boner pants. They're like training wheels for long, rock-hard erections.
Thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate this advice. I'm gonna
thank you.
Call back later and let you know how it went.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks. And yeah, if you're wondering where to get those boner pants, that's http://www.flyingsquidcomedy.com/boner. Again, that is flyingsquidcomedy.com/boner. Thank you, caller, for calling in, folks. We have time for just a few more minutes, maybe another call or two if you're out there in Love Land and you're all isolated but not quite sure what to do. You're feeling frisky, but there's nobody to reach out and grab onto. You can call. Get your phone out. Call 575-322-8733. Again, that's 575-322-8733. We will pause for these words and station identification.
It is 9:56 p.m. This is WKKW. You're listening to Love Pandemic.
That's right, folks. This is Love Pandemic. We are live. 575-322-8733. Brought to you by Boner Pants. FlyingSquidComedy.com/boner. Boners are fun, aren't they?
It's true.
Wade, what's the biggest erection that you've ever had? I bet it's been massive.
The biggest erection. Let's see. I think one time I was laying down and I was on the beach and I was wearing a Speedo and a woman approached me, surprisingly. And she asked me, it was an American woman, and she asked me if I had been working with the Coleman Company in the sense of pitching tents is what. And I said I did.
Yes, I loved your short film on pitching tents. It was great.
Yeah, it's great work.
You took some of the most difficult to assemble tents, put those together, and then you went into those tents with, your partner who you set the tent up with.
Right. It was a 5-person tent, and it was a lot of fun that night.
I bet it was sweaty in there. Little sweat lodge going on.
A sauna.
Yeah, sauna, if you will. That's even sexier.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, folks, we have time for one more call. If you're out there, you're lonely, or got those questions, those dating tips, well, we're here for just a few more minutes, so you're going to want to call in now if you want to call in at all. Otherwise, you're just going to have to be miserable for the rest of your life.
Remember, life is short, and so is lovemaking.
Yeah.
So call in 575-322-8733. 322-8733. Now, I gotta ask you a question. Now, is there any way that I could maybe listen in on some of your sessions that you do?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think one thing we could do is just exchange notes after.
Oh.
And I can,
I'd be honored. That would be...
We'd love to have you on film.
Oh, you want me?
Yeah,
Wow, he's always been a man behind the man, if you will.
Yeah, well, I'll have to talk to Sheila about that, but...
Oh, right.
I'd love to. Yeah, I mean, you don't mind the fact that I only have one eye, do you?
Oh, no. You might be able to focus a little bit more.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. We're getting another caller in here. Caller, you're on the air. This is Love Pandemic.
Hi, how's it going, guys?
Hi, what's going on?
Hey, caller, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Hey, fellas, I just got a question. Just like a little bit of advice from you guys. Do you think, so I've never really tried any of these dating applications before, but I downloaded them for the, to pass the time in the isolation, and I'm not really getting a lot of hits. I can't really convince any girls to come and hang out with me. Any advice on what I'm doing wrong, how to get a girl in these trying times?
Well, this is
specifically on the internet.
This is an excellent question, caller. One thing that's really important is your profile photo. If you haven't ever traveled outside the country, or gone scuba diving, or done, interesting things with your life, then now's the time. Southwest has very cheap rates around the world. You want to go out there for $80, you could get probably the coolest online dating profile picture imaginable. You underneath the water holding up a couple of pineapples or kiwis, whatever your sexiest fruit is, or what have you. But there's just a lot of opportunity out there right now. You got to go out there and you've got to put your best foot forward, caller.
Oh, that's a great idea. Right now, I just got a bunch of selfies in my bathroom mirror,
Yeah, those are definitely not going to work.
Pieces of shit.
Do you think it's a no-go on the selfies, the bathroom mirror selfie?
Let me ask you a question. Are you wearing a shirt in the photo?
Like half of them.
Okay, and some of them you have, and some of you. So what kind of shirt?
It's always the same shirt. I always wear white T-shirts in my house. When I take my dress shirts off. So
just to clarify, all of your selfies are in the same mirror?
Yeah, same mirror, and more or less the same shirt. If it's not the same shirt, then it looks a lot like the same shirt.
So that might be one area, I'm a happily married man, but from an outsider's perspective, maybe having more variety, instead of 5 pictures of you kind of doing the same thing, wearing the same thing, they might think that you are a sociopath.
Yeah, and you know what? Think outside the box, caller. Be creative. Perhaps you start out with a different type of headshot. And instead of having to send that out, perhaps you just throw it up on your profile and see what kind of reaction. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just go ahead and show them what it's all about. It could be the hokey pokey. It could be the, Okeechobee. It could be
Okeechobee.
Yeah, well, we've all seen a few of those, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Caller, I hope that helps. Thank you so much for calling in.
That's great, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's about time that we wrap this show up, unfortunately. We have only an hour in the studio, and our producer has done an amazing job of keeping this place tight and clean and up to date.
Absolutely.
We're all behind safety glass. Thank you, Karl. We're all making sure that we're doing our part, not spreading anything but love. This is a love pandemic. It is a viral outbreak. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into the show. Be sure to check out FlyingSquidComedy.com. We'll also be there will also we right now have a short break, and then there's another show coming up at 11 p.m. here on WKKW called Flying Squid. It's some sort of a comedy thing. Flying Squid Comedy, it's called. So check that out, 11 p.m. That is also a call-in show. I'm not really sure anything about the show, but we have to plug it because we are using their studio. Wade, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you, Liam. Thank you for having me. Carl, thank you for having me on the air as well.
Thank you so much for popping in. It's a pleasure. You really are one of my heroes.
I definitely
I don't want to gush over.
Thank you. I definitely feel like you boys have become my mates. Of the past couple of years now. Thank you for allowing me to have a couple of calls today. Thank you.
Absolutely. Oh, it's always a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for popping your head in.
Thank you.
I know you've been doing a lot of heavy lifting in Studio B, so thank you so much, folks out there. From all of us here at Love Pandemic, thanks to our lovely guest tonight, Tiffany, and we really appreciate all of you out there listening to the show. We'll see you next time.